In this video, we'll look at how platform teams can provide data scientists with a self-service experience for them to create and use Jupyter Notebooks running on JupyterHub on Kubernetes. Let's start by reviewing the typical requirements for data scientist teams. They want to have a self-service experience to create and use Jupyter Notebooks. They do not wish to open a support ticket and potentially wait indefinitely. They want to focus on their day job and tasks associated with data science. They have no interest in learning or becoming infrastructure or Kubernetes experts. They want the ability to use GPUs with their GPU notebooks if required. They want access to consistent and standardized environments. They do not want to spend time updating dependencies and troubleshooting, etc., because of misconfigurations or snowflake environments. They want the ability to seamlessly share their models with colleagues for review across Jupyter Notebooks. So what could this look like? So what we'll be seeing in demo in a few minutes, and in the demo, you'll see a data scientist manager kind of using a self-service model to provision a JupyterHub onto a Kubernetes cluster that's managed by a platform team. They'll do this in a completely self-service manner. And then you'll see a data scientist kind of logging in using a browser and accessing Jupyter Notebooks running on JupyterHub. The same JupyterHub-based Jupyter Notebook can also be accessed remotely using VS Code for data scientists that prefer to write Python code in their VS Code IDEs. Now let's look at what the experience would look like for self-service. The data scientist logs in. They are presented with a easy-to-use card, a catalog kind of an experience with a brief explanation on what they need to do there. They launch the template, give it a name. In this case, this is the alpha data scientist team. So let's just enter the name and a brief description. And this is the administrator for the JupyterHub instance. So they would have to provide some kind of a password to administer the JupyterHub instance. They hit save and deploy. And the template for JupyterHub would now get automatically deployed on the shared Kubernetes cluster that is managed by the platform team. Now, this can take about 2 to 3 minutes to complete, and let's come back to it and look at it once it's fully deployed. Well, actually, as you can see here, it's about a minute in and or 3 minutes in right now, and it's almost done. And in the process behind the scenes, it will be deploying all the Kubernetes resources, creating namespaces, etc. All that is invisible to the data scientist. So in about 4 minutes flat, the JupyterHub instance is now provisioned. As you can see, a URL is provided to the data scientist, and when they access it, they can now see JupyterHub. The administrator for that puts in the admin username and the password that's set during template creation. And they get to choose what kind of an environment they need. In this case, as a data scientist, I want to pick the data science environment and hit start. And in a few minutes, fully operational JupyterHub multi-user instance will be ready for use for this data scientist team. Okay, so now as a data scientist, you have a familiar notebook interface. And if you click on Python 3 kernel, you can create a notebook. And let's actually try it. Let's create a notebook and type in some simple Python code there. I'm going to print a simple hello world and run it. As you can see, it executed, which means the kernel was available. Now, the thing I want to point out here is this has been configured with multiple kernels So the data scientists can, in theory, not just be limited to Python 3. They can also have Julia and R and other configurations if they are made available in the template. As a data scientist, it's also extremely easy to go add users, collaborators. Um, so just go onto the admin panel and you can add users. In this case, I'm going to invite two other data scientists from the company, John and and I think Timmy, who would be added as users who will get the invitations. Oh, thank you.